Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Emma.
Welcome to Actify English.
We're so happy you're here with us today.
If this is your first time listening, welcome.
And if you've been learning with us for a while, welcome back.
Today, we're going to practice English together.
Nice,
Slow
easy.
and natural English.
Today's conversation is about going to class,
We'll talk about getting ready for school,
walking to school,
meeting classmates,
talking to teachers,
sitting in class.
and many other everyday situations.
If you're a beginner, don't worry.
Just relax.
Listen carefully.
Repeat after us if you'd like.
And most importantly,
Enjoy the conversation.
well, Emma,
Yes, Tony?
good morning.
Oh, good morning, Tony. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I slept really well last night.
Lucky you.
Really? Didn't you sleep well?
Well, I did, but my alarm clock was a little too loud this morning.
Oh no.
It scared me.
Did you jump out of bed?
Almost.
That's one way to wake up.
Definitely.
So, are you a morning person?
I'd like to say yes,
But
but my bed always wants me to stay. My bed every morning says, don't leave.
mine says the same thing sometimes,
Really?
especially on cold mornings.
Oh, yes.
A warm blanket is really hard to leave.
Very hard.
But once you're out of bed,
Everything feels better.
it really does.
Do you usually wake up early every day?
Usually,
What time?
around 6 o'clock.
Wow.
I really like quiet mornings.
So do I.
Everything feels peaceful.
The streets are quieter,
The air feels fresh.
and the sun is just coming up.
It's such a nice way to start the day.
So, what's the first thing you do after you wake up?
First, I make my bed.
That's a good habit.
Then I brush my teeth.
Of course.
Then I wash my face.
That always helps me wake up.
Me too.
Then what?
I get dressed.
Easy.
After that, I eat breakfast.
Breakfast is important.
Very important.
What do you usually eat?
Eggs and toast.
That sounds delicious.
Sometimes I eat fruit too.
Healthy choice.
What about you?
I usually eat cereal.
Every morning?
Almost every morning.
Chocolate cereal?
Sometimes.
I knew it.
Hey!
I'm just guessing.
Well, your guess was right. Sometimes I eat bananas too.
Bananas are great before school.
They give me energy.
They really do.
Do you ever skip breakfast?
Almost never.
Me neither.
If I don't eat,
You get hungry in class?
very hungry.
Same here.
Then it's hard to pay attention.
Because you're only thinking about food.
Exactly.
That happens to me too.
After breakfast, do you pack your school bag?
Yes.
What's inside?
Well, let's see.
Books?
Yes,
Notebooks?
of course.
Pens?
Several pens.
Why several?
Because I always lose one. I honestly don't know how it happens.
Pens have little legs.
They just walk away.
That's what it feels like.
I also carry pencils,
Good idea.
an eraser,
Nice.
a ruler,
Anything else?
a water bottle.
That's important.
I drink a lot of water during the day.
I try to do the same.
Oh,
What?
snacks. Don't laugh.
I knew snacks were coming.
I get hungry.
So what snacks do you usually bring?
Crackers,
Nice.
sometimes an apple,
Healthy.
sometimes cookies.
Ah. Balance.
That's the idea.
Have you ever forgotten your backpack?
No,
Really?
but I've forgotten my homework
Oh no.
more than once.
What happened?
I got to school.
Then?
My friend asked, "Did you finish the homework?"
That's never a good sign.
I just smiled.
Uh-oh.
Then I remembered.
It was still at home?
Yes.
How did you feel?
Embarrassed.
Did the teacher get upset?
Not really.
That's good.
I just said, "I'm sorry."
Honesty is always the best choice.
I think so too.
I forgot my backpack one time.
Seriously?
Yes.
The whole backpack?
The whole backpack.
Really?
I walked almost all the way to school.
Then you noticed?
Yes.
What did you do?
I turned around.
And walked home.
Yes,
That must have been frustrating.
it really was.
I bet you never forgot it again.
Not after that. So, how do you usually go to school?
I usually take the bus.
Do you enjoy it?
Most days.
Why?
I like looking out the window.
That sounds relaxing.
I watch people walking,
Cars driving by?
trees moving in the wind.
Sounds peaceful.
Sometimes I listen to music.
Nice.
Sometimes I just enjoy the quiet.
I like quiet mornings too.
What about you?
I usually walk.
Every day?
Yes,
How long does it take?
about 15 minutes.
That's not bad.
It's actually my favorite part of the morning.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
it gives me time to think.
About school?
Sometimes,
What else?
my plans for the day.
That's smart.
Sometimes I don't think about anything.
You just enjoy the walk.
Exactly.
Fresh air helps.
It really does.
Do you ever meet friends on your way to school?
Sometimes,
Then you walk together?
yes.
What do you usually talk about?
Homework,
Of course.
teachers, sports,
Movies,
music,
weekend plans,
and
food.
always food. Somehow, every conversation ends with food.
It really does.
When you arrive at school, what's the first thing you do?
I look for my friends.
Nice.
Then I say,
Good morning.
that's right.
What do your friends usually say?
Hi.
How are you?
How's it going?
Very natural English.
Very easy, too.
Do you hug your friends?
Sometimes.
Or just wave?
Usually we wave.
That's nice.
Then we walk to class together.
Are you usually early?
Yes.
So am I.
I don't like being late.
Neither do I.
Being early feels relaxing.
You have time to get ready.
That's the best part.
You don't have to rush.
That's my favorite part.
Do you ever see teachers in the hallway?
Yes.
What do you usually say?
Good morning.
Very polite.
Teachers always smile back.
That's nice.
A smile makes the morning better.
I completely agree.
Did you have a favorite teacher?
I did.
What made that teacher special?
He was always kind.
That's important.
He explained everything slowly.
That really helps students feel comfortable.
It really does.
My favorite teacher always encouraged everyone,
Even when students made mistakes?
especially when students made mistakes.
I like that.
She always said,
What did she say?
mistakes mean you're learning.
That's a wonderful sentence.
It made me feel much less nervous.
I think every student needs to hear that.
I agree.
Nobody learns something new without making mistakes.
I couldn't agree more.
Learning takes time,
Step by step,
day by day,
little by little.
and that's perfectly okay. Well, speaking of learning, once you get to your classroom, what do you usually do first?
Well, first I find my seat.
Do you always sit in the same place?
Usually,
I do too.
I think most students do. It feels comfortable.
Yeah, I think so too.
Where do you like to sit?
Somewhere in the middle.
Really?
Yeah,
Why not the front?
the front is great, but sometimes I feel a little nervous.
Because the teacher can see everything?
That's exactly why.
I know that feeling.
And I don't like sitting all the way in the back either.
Why not?
Sometimes it's harder to hear.
Good point.
So the middle is perfect for me.
I usually like sitting near the window.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Why?
I like natural light.
So do I.
A bright classroom makes me feel awake.
Dark classrooms make me sleepy.
Same here.
So what does your classroom look like?
It's pretty simple.
Tell me about it.
There are rows of desks,
Nice.
a big whiteboard,
Of course.
a teacher's desk,
Yep.
a clock on the wall,
Very important.
especially when you're waiting for lunch.
I always watch the clock.
There are also some colorful posters.
About school subjects?
Yes,
Sounds like a nice classroom.
I like it.
Does your classroom have windows?
Yes,
Big windows?
very big.
That's wonderful.
We can see trees outside.
That sounds peaceful.
Sometimes birds land near the window.
Really?
Yes,
Do students get distracted?
sometimes.
I probably would.
Me too.
So what happens when the bell rings?
Everyone gets a little quieter.
The teacher walks in.
Then the teacher smiles and says,
Good morning, everyone.
and the students answer,
Good morning.
nice and loud.
Hopefully.
Then what?
Sometimes the teacher asks, How are you today?
That's one.
And students usually say, I'm fine, thank you.
Very simple.
Very useful.
Then comes attendance.
Right.
The teacher calls everyone's name.
One by one.
What do students usually say?
Here.
Or
Present.
both are common.
Have you ever answered for your friend?
Be honest. Never.
Really?
Really.
That's good.
What about you?
No.
Good.
It's better to be honest.
I agree.
After attendance, class begins.
The teacher starts the lesson.
Sometimes with a question.
Sometimes with a story.
I like teachers who tell stories.
I really enjoy them too.
Stories are easier to remember.
They really are.
Do you enjoy asking questions in class?
Now I do.
What about before?
I was shy.
Really?
Very shy.
I didn't know that.
I worried about saying the wrong answer,
I think many students feel that way.
especially when learning something new.
Yes.
Did you ever feel nervous in class?
Oh, definitely.
What made you nervous?
Speaking in front of everyone.
Same here.
My heart would beat really fast.
Mine too.
I'd think,
What if I make a mistake?
that was always my first thought.
But later I realized something.
What's that?
Everyone makes mistakes.
That's true.
Even good students.
Even teachers sometimes.
Yes.
Nobody is perfect.
That's why we practice.
Little by little.
Day after day.
Just like learning English.
That's a great example.
If you're listening right now,
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
every mistake helps you improve.
Every sentence you speak makes you stronger,
Even if it's a simple sentence.
especially if it's a simple sentence.
Simple English is powerful.
Absolutely.
During class, teachers often ask questions.
Like, can anyone answer this?
Or, who knows the answer?
Would you raise your hand?
Sometimes.
What helped you become more confident?
Practice.
That's the secret.
I started answering easy questions.
Small steps.
Then harder questions later.
That's a smart way to learn.
What about you?
I learned that nobody laughs when you're trying.
That's a good lesson.
Most classmates actually want you to do well
They understand.
because they're learning too.
That's right. What should students say if they don't understand?
That's easy.
Tell me.
Can you say that again, please?
Great sentence. Or, I don't understand.
Another useful one.
How about, can you help me?
Perfect.
Those are important classroom sentences.
And don't forget,
What?
could you speak more slowly?
That's one of my favorites.
Mine too.
It's polite.
And very useful.
Teachers are usually happy to help.
Good teachers want students to understand.
That's how good teachers are.
Do you enjoy working with classmates?
I do.
Why?
Because we help each other.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Sometimes one student understands something first.
Then they explain it to everyone else.
That's a great way to learn.
Have you ever helped a classmate?
Many times.
What did you help with?
Math homework once.
Were you good at math?
I liked it.
That's nice.
What about you?
I usually helped friends with English.
Really?
Yes,
Did you enjoy it?
very much.
Why?
Because teaching helps me learn too.
I found that too.
When you explain something,
You understand it even better.
that's what I've noticed.
That's a wonderful way to study.
Speaking of studying,
Yeah?
do you study alone or with friends?
A little of both.
Same here.
Sometimes I need quiet.
Me too.
But studying with friends can be fun.
Especially before a test.
Right.
Everyone asks questions.
Everyone shares ideas.
And sometimes,
Then someone tells a funny story.
5 minutes later,
Nobody is studying anymore. That happens.
that's why we need short breaks.
Good point.
Study for a while,
Then rest for a few minutes.
then study again.
It helps me stay focused.
It works for me too.
What about break time at school?
Oh, I love break time.
I think everyone does.
Students leave the classroom,
Stretch their legs,
drink water,
chat with friends.
eat snacks.
Of course.
Snacks again.
We always come back to food.
We really do.
What's your favorite snack at school?
An apple.
Healthy.
Sometimes crackers.
Nice.
What about you?
I like granola bars.
Good choice.
They're easy to carry.
And they're delicious.
Sometimes my friends share snacks.
That's kind.
We always ask first.
Very important.
Would you like some?
Yes, thank you.
Or
No thanks.
simple and polite.
That's all you need. Well, all this talk about snacks is making me hungry. Haha.
Lunch is my favorite time of the school day.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Really?
I knew food would come up again.
Food always makes people happy.
I can't argue with that.
Do you usually bring your lunch?
Sometimes.
And sometimes you buy lunch.
That's right.
What's your favorite lunch?
I like chicken and rice.
That sounds delicious.
What about you?
I love sandwiches.
What kind?
Turkey and cheese.
Nice choice.
Sometimes I bring fruit too.
Apples?
Yes,
Grapes?
I love grapes.
They're one of my favorites.
Lunch is also a good time to talk with friends.
Definitely.
Everyone sits together,
People laugh,
tell stories,
share funny moments,
ask about homework,
talk about weekend plans.
or just enjoy eating together.
Those are some of my favorite memories from school.
Mine too.
Did you ever trade food with your friends? I'm guessing that's a yes.
Sometimes.
What did you trade?
My apple for my friend's cookies.
Don't judge me. I'm not judging.
Cookies looked much better.
I understand.
Did you ever do that?
Once,
Really?
my friend wanted my orange,
And what did you get?
a chocolate chip cookie.
That's a pretty good trade.
I thought so too.
After lunch, students go back to class.
Sometimes feeling a little sleepy.
Just a little.
Wake up, Emma.
I'm awake.
Good.
Afternoon classes always felt a little longer,
I know what you mean.
especially on Friday.
Oh, yes.
Everyone is thinking about the weekend.
Instead of the lesson.
Sometimes.
But it's still important to pay attention.
Of course.
Every lesson teaches us something new.
Even small lessons.
Every single one.
Do you have a favorite subject?
I really liked science.
Oh,
I enjoyed learning how things work.
that's interesting.
We even did simple experiments.
Were they fun?
Most of the time.
What about the other times? Uh-oh.
Sometimes they didn't go as planned.
Really?
Once we made a huge mess.
That sounds unforgettable.
Nothing dangerous.
That's good.
Just a lot of cleaning afterward.
That's part of learning too.
I guess it is.
My favorite subject was English.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Why did you enjoy it so much?
Because I loved learning new words.
That's wonderful.
Every new word felt like opening a new door.
I like that.
The more words I learned,
The easier it became to talk.
that's how it felt.
And that's true for all learners.
Especially beginners.
You don't need thousands of words.
Just start with simple words.
Then use them every day,
That's how confidence grows.
little by little.
Just like we said earlier.
Right.
Practice every day.
Even 5 or 10 minutes helps.
Speaking English every day is much better than studying for 3 hours once a week.
I completely agree.
Small habits become big results.
That's a great lesson.
So, what happens when the last class finishes?
Everyone starts packing their bags.
Very quickly. Sometimes a little too quickly.
That's true.
You hear zippers,
Books closing,
chairs moving,
lots of happy voices,
then the final bell rings.
and everyone smiles.
Usually. Do you go straight home after school?
Most days,
What do you do first?
I change my clothes.
Same here.
Then I drink some water.
Good idea.
Sometimes I have a small snack.
Snacks again. We really like food.
We do.
After that,
I do my homework.
before dinner?
Usually,
That's smart.
if I wait until late at night,
You don't feel like doing it.
that's exactly what happens.
I understand.
What about you?
I usually rest for a little while first.
Just a short break?
About 20 minutes.
Then homework?
Yes.
And after homework?
I like reading books
Nice.
or listening to music.
Sounds relaxing.
Sometimes I call my friends.
Do you talk about school?
Sometimes.
What else?
Movies,
Music?
funny things that happen during the day.
School gives us so many memories.
It really does.
Looking back, what's your favorite school memory?
That's a hard question.
It is.
Take your time.
I think my favorite memories aren't about tests
Mine either.
or homework.
Definitely not homework. They're about my friends.
I was thinking the same thing.
Walking to class together,
Talking before the bell,
talking during lunch,
helping each other study.
encouraging each other.
Those moments stay with us.
Even years later.
School teaches us many subjects.
But it also teaches kindness,
Friendship,
responsibility,
confidence.
and patience.
Those lessons are just as important.
I couldn't agree more. And that's exactly what today's conversation was all about.
Today we practiced many simple school conversations.
Getting ready in the morning,
Walking to school,
greeting teachers and classmates,
asking questions in class,
learning together with friends.
and finishing a great school day.
These are conversations people use every day.
The more you hear them,
The more they become natural.
that's why listening every day is so important.
Little by little, English becomes part of your daily life.
And just like going to school,
Learning English happens one step at a time.
if you're learning English right now,
Remember something important.
you don't have to speak perfectly.
You don't have to know every word.
You don't have to be afraid of mistakes.
Every conversation helps you improve.
Every new word is progress.
Every sentence you say makes you a little stronger.
Keep listening.
Keep speaking,
Keep practicing.
even if it's only a few minutes every day.
One day you'll look back.
And you'll realize how much you've improved.
We believe in you.
We really do.
Before we go,
We'd love to hear from you.
tell us in the comments what's your favorite subject at school.
Or what was your favorite subject when you were a student?
We'd love to read your answers.
And if today's conversation helped you, practice it again tomorrow.
Try repeating the sentences out loud.
Read them with us.
Speak slowly.
Don't rush.
Confidence comes with practice.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
We always enjoy learning English together with you.
Take care of yourself.
Keep smiling
Keep learning.
and keep believing in yourself.
We'll see you again in the next English conversation.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.